Ties it up quickly. 49ers get in a late substitute. Anderson puts the man in motion. Again gets to Johnson and he gets down close. Looks like he's about a half yard short. Ball inside the 1. Johnson again. Yep. This time he is hit by Jack Reynolds and knocked backwards, if you can believe that. 11th play in this drive coming up. Anderson will look and throw. Alexander does not get in. They give the shot there, I don't know. The 49ers don't think he made it. Who's on the bottom of that pile? Jack Reynolds again. Number 64. That's a team effort for San Francisco's defense.
Craig Patterson's way to the goal line. He goes in for a 49er touchdown. And the 49ers are leaving the Miami Dolphins far to the rear now.
Weiss has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana, touchdown, John Taylor.
Hey, this is complete domination. The 49er offense has beaten the Denver Bronco defense every way.
From the 44, they fake it to Floyd. Young to the air. Young to Jerry Rice. Touchdown, San Francisco.
Well, that's quite a statement their defense made. To handle the middle of the football field. And Frank, I have dumbfounded as to what they're doing.
Good move to the outside on Carrington.
What's up, y'all? It's your boy None of Faithful. How's everybody doing? Kind of pissed I got scammed for $50. So I ain't doing too fucking legendary. But at least the Niners are 6-3. Um, yeah. What's up, Sully? I know a lot of people are gonna bitch about this. You know what? Like I told you, I didn't expect any major moves. I did expect something to happen though. But you know what? I think the Niners just told you what they think about the rest of the season. I really do. I think they told you that they don't think they got a chance to compete for a championship this year. Fuck what they say. Look at what they do. Because I don't believe, especially after losing Michael Williams for the rest of the season, that the way that the roster stands right now is ready to compete for a championship. I don't think we were one or two moves either. And I think that's ultimately why they didn't do it, is because they felt that we were one or two moves away. And so they said, we're not going to sacrifice the future. We'll let these young guys develop. And yeah, it pisses you off for the 2025 season. But this is what happens when you have an owner that doesn't care. This is what happens when you have an owner that says that it's a great season, even if you get blown out by double digits in the NFC Championship game at home in a game that you were favored. Even though we did come back and everything like that, just kind of shows you the attitude of the organization. Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and break down Niners Giants, get into I do not know the rest of the trades that happened in the NFL. So obviously Jason will probably know all that. But we're gonna get cracking into that and break down this Niners Giants game for y'all. But before we do all that, oh, what's cracking, Tommy? Fairies. What's cracking, fairy? Um, but before we do, of course, y'all, we got to pay some. Switch to my folder. Bills.
Founded and backed by the GOAT himself, Goat Fuel is a great tasting energy drink without the crash. Use our affiliate link below to save 10% on all Goat Fuel energy drinks. Help out the show and save 10% at the official Niner online store by using our affiliate link in the description below. Go to seatgiant.ca to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. The website again, seatgiant.ca, promo code NinerFaithfulRadio. Follow us on social media at Niner Faithful Radio on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and TikTok, and at Niner Faithful R on X.
All right, y'all. Faith. Or Faith. Man, I'm tired. All right, y'all, ladies and gentlemen, faithful of all ages. Let's get the show cracking.
Weiss has just set a Super Bowl record with 12 catches. He's in motion. Montana. Touchdown, John Taylor.
You're tuned in to Niner Faithful Radio, the show hosted for the faithful, by the faithful.
What's cracking, Kevin?
Hello, faithful. How's everybody going tonight?
It's fucking shitty, bro. I just got scammed for $50.
I told you not to give money to hookers.
I know. Nah, fucking it was this room to rent shit. And like it seemed legit, bro, because they're like, okay, this is the site to do the credit check and the background check and shit like that, whatever. With whoops. So I was like, all right, cool. I was like, whatever. You feel me? And so I did it, and they're like, okay, now this is the one for the background check. And I was like, hold on, bro, this is the same. I was like, it just says it's for fucking credit check. You feel me? I was like, so all you're doing is just having me buy different subscriptions to fucking credit check or credit monitoring services. You feel me? And I was like, hey, you know what? Cool. You got my social. Good luck, bro. My credit score is like 400. The fuck are you gonna fucking get approved for? You know what I'm saying? My credit
You
score
got 400. Mine is lower than that probably at this point.
like I was like my credit score is literally like I seen it, because it's legit creditor monitoring sites. You feel me? And so I was like, I looked and I was like, oh shit, I think that the highest one is like 506. And I was just like, so look, you want to try to rip me off and get credit cards and everything like that? Fuck it, bruh. You're just gonna get denied. And honestly, my credit's never getting repaired, bruh. I've just chalked it up. Anyway,
Mine's only being repaired because I'm working on getting doing what do you call it? Filing from bankruptcy. Just want to say what's up to Sully. How you doing, brother? Thank you for showing up. And Mary escaped from the wound day. Tommy had a nice conversation.
yeah.
With, Tommy and his mom. No, that is not a clowning. I've always said, and I think those that know me, I don't say happy birthday or anything like that. I always say Mary escaped from the womb day. And I've said that for probably 30 years. I've never had anybody's mom actually show up and be like, hey, that was my womb he escaped from. And I was just like, I don't know what to say to this because it was just kind of weird. And so that's what Tommy is when he's saying, Jason, sorry about my mom. She's crazy. Like I said, it was just kind of weird. I was like, hi.
I was scared to ask what you want to join in.
What's up, Mr. Terradome? Terradome joined me Sunday. We were doing play-by-play. I want to say for most of the game. It was good to see Terradome. I hadn't spoke to him in a while.
I saw that, bro. I guess I'll talk to you about that off air to see how that's doing and everything like that. Anyway, yeah, I saw that. Was cracking Terradome. Good to see. I totally found out yesterday on some fluke shit. My coworker has the same birthday as me. Like that was kind of tripping. Well, happy birthday. Yeah. Happy birthday to everybody.
Terradome's daughter.
Yeah. So yeah, we're not gonna do that. Anyway, so what do you want to get into? Do you want to do the game first or you want to do trade deadline first?
I might as well do the game first.
Okay, so look, I want to preface this by saying yes, the New York Giants are bad. You feel me? They are a bad football team. But I'm not going to say aspirations of a championship because I think the Niners today, and we'll get into this more when we talk about the trade deadline. I think the Niners kind of told us how they feel about the season by the lack of moves today. You feel me? Even though you and I both talked about we weren't getting Trey Henderson, we weren't doing a big splashy, sexy move. You feel me? I think that they told you what they think about this roster. Not saying it's bad, but just they're looking long term. They're looking at development, you know, those type of things. This is what when teams who still have an aspiration of winning the division, have the aspirations of playoffs, and probably look. I'd be pretty disappointed, especially if it's a home game. If the Niners went one and done, I'd be a little disappointed. So when you are a playoff team and a division winning team like we assume the Niners will be this year, yeah, well, how are they trading Michael Parsons? I mean, if you're using your measuring stick of what the Niners should do by the Cry Girls, I mean, come on, Tommy. You know what I'm saying? I'm not worried about what? Matter of fact, the Cry Girls making moves makes me almost feel better than the Niners did it. You feel me? That's just what it's supposed to look like. And that's what's got me feeling excited. Or I'm not going to say excited. I'm still as low key as I was yet last week, Jason. You and I both were. Where we're like, dude, the season's not over. I hate to say nonchalant, just very me about the loss last week, and just kind of like, That's how like positive I am this week. Like, yeah, We should beat the Giants by 10 points. Yeah, it should look like that. Honestly, should have beat them by more. They have no business fucking scoring that last minute touchdown. That touchdown drive, the
No.
last touchdown drive was way too easy. We clearly switched off, you know, and we were just going through the motions. But the hardest thing, I mean, how many times have I said it to you, Jason? Hardest thing to do in sports is what you're supposed to do.
Yeah. Good win. Michael Williams was obviously the sacrificial lamb for this game.
Yes,
You know,
I do want to.
I mean, it is what it is at this point. It's like, we almost made it out of Death Life Stadium. We're what, 3 plays? Almost fucking made it out of Death Life Stadium, man. So close. I was like, I was sitting there, and I think me and Terrado might have was like, are we going to make it out of this game without a huge injury? And then, like, the next series it happens. But it's just like, oh, man. This is like, again, it's pathetic that this stadium is allowed to exist in the current condition that it is. It's even more pathetic that they are going to have World Cup games last year where they are going to ship in real grass for the World Cup and then take it out
the
after
final.
World Cup.
The World Cup final is going to be at MetLife.
Yeah, but again, they are shipping in grass.
Yeah.
And then they're
Because
taking
you
it out.
want to know why? FIFA, or I'm sorry, UEFA would not let a single like
they care.
Ronaldo like they would never let a fucking one of their players step on a field like that. They probably wouldn't even let their youth. Because see, in soccer, the teams handle the youth academy. You feel me? So I know it's not professional contracts. I don't know how it exactly works, but like, for example, Manchester United, they'll get like David Beckham, who got knighted today, so he's now Sir David Beckham, right? Like Bobby Charlton, a legend, found him at like a skills tournament he was hosting or something like that. Alex Ferguson came, talked to his parents. They come talk to your parents and everything like that. They sign you to a youth contract, and the team develops you, like the professional team. So anyway, I don't even think FIFA would let the youth teams play on turf like that. And I'm with what Kittle Corn said, where I felt that it was about as best and professional and not using it as an excuse as I think it could be by an athlete when he said, look, like it is what it is. Why do we got 12 different turf fields? You know, why is it just a universal? And this is the thing that pisses me off. Like we often hear that the reason that the salary cap was put into place is because teams like the Niners, the Cry Girls, the New York teams, these big market teams could outspend teams like the Whackers, for example, right? Who just simply weren't going to create the type of revenue that the Niners create, or Cleveland, or you see what I'm saying? And so you had they did the same thing in soccer. You have big teams like the Niners, the Cry Girls, Eddie D with his unlimited pocketbook, Jerry Jones with his deep pocketbooks, competing against the Bengals, who just their owners can simply spend the way that the Niners could. So, you often hear, what's up, Damien? Good to see you, brother. You often hear that the Niners bought their championships, just because simply Eddie would buy whoever the best players were.
Kind of just did.
This is. I mean, look, brother. We'll get on a whole rant about the Dodgers that aren't. Yeah. Anyway, fuck the Dodgers. Fucking Smurf motherfuckers. Anyway, so yeah, dude, I cussed my manager out and like because he showed up and he tried to say something. I was like, ain't nobody give a fuck about that. And he looked at me and everything like that. And I was like, yeah, fuck you and your fucking Smurfs. Like I was talking hella shit, cuz. And I'm not even a Blue Jay fan. I was like, it's actually really unhealthy how much Giants and Dodger fans hate each other, which is the weirdest shit in the world because you know how many So I wanted to say it was the Cardinals game. I want to say that that the Dodgers were playing at AT&T, right? The same weekend we hosted the Cardinals. So you actually saw a ton of people in Niners jerseys, but with fucking Dodger hats. You know how many fights I almost started like legitimately, both motherfuckers would be wearing a Kittle jersey about to box each other. You know what I'm saying? Because there's a shit ton of Niner fans that are Dodger fans. But anyway, yeah, fuck the Smurfs. Anyway, so to me, that's what I get frustrated with as a fan. Is that it's like, why do we have 12 different fields? You know, and like Kittle said, when your stadium is a meme, right? Like every Death Life, all the shit that everybody says about the stadium, like, so you're the New York owner, right? You're the Jets owner or the Giants owner. They fired Robert Sala because he was embarrassed because they got their ass kicked in front of his London friends. You can fire Robert Sala, but you just can't get it. And the thing that sucks about it is more of their players got hurt than our players. So it ain't like it's just like the Giants and Jets are used to it or whatever. Fuck, their center went down. Didn't one of their DBs hurt his hamstring or something like that?
Probably. Because they don't care, because they're still making money.
And you know
that's what it is. They're not spending a ton of money on putting grass in every week to replace it. And the other owners could get together and do that. But if they got together and did that, they are setting a precedent for something that could get ugly. So nothing's going to change. They're not going to make, the other 31 owners are not going to, or I guess 30 owners are not going to get together and tell those two guys to change their field. It's not happening.
Not when it comes to money. I think there's probably, Jason, would you be surprised if there's a gentleman's agreement amongst the owners that they don't tell each other how to spend their money?
More or less, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
The probably not even a gentleman's agreement. It's just probably understood.
Yeah, it's probably understood. Like let's be real. Every owner, whoever the majority owner is, or the representative of the owners at, like, let's say, like, for example, Jed's not the only owner of the Niners, but it's pretty much Jed that goes and represents the Niners at any owners meeting or anything like that. Like, these are all very rich people. They all speak the language, and it's sad because, like, I noticed. So, like, in soccer, they don't even let opposing fans sit with home fans. They have, like, a certain section that opposing fans go sit in, right, and everything like that. And it's like a small section. So, like you know how the NFL, you go to Ticketmaster.com, you could buy seats anywhere, whether you're a Niner fan. Like, look at you, bruh. There's no way in hell you should have been able to sit. Like, in soccer, you would have never been able to sit where you were. You know what I'm saying? In soccer. And why is it is like the Giants owner, for example. The Giants owner does not give a shit that we took over their stadium. He's not going to change it because it's the same thing with Vegas. Vegas will be a better example. Why would Mark Davis never put the investment that the Raiders need? You want to know why? Because they're going to sell out every game. And you know why they're going to sell out every game? Because it's Vegas. And so Niner fans, Chiefs fans, Eagles, whoever, whatever team's playing Vegas, coming into Vegas every week, they're going to say, hey, let's buy tickets. Let's go to Vegas. Let's go to the game and everything like that. So Mark Davis doesn't give a shit because he's still taking home the ticket revenue because they're still going to sell out every game. It's the same for there's no incentive. So we can stop, and they're not going to look. When Aaron Rodgers, literally, wasn't it the first snap?
Yeah. No.
The first?
Second. It was the second snap.
Second snap. Okay, the second snap goes down at home, and they don't ban turf field. They're never going to ban turf field. They're just simply not going
on a prime time game. It was a Sunday night. I think it was. I don't remember if it was Monday night
or Sunday night. The first game of the year.
No, it wasn't the first game. It was one of the primetime games. It was either, I can't remember if it was Sunday night or Monday night, but it was one of the primetime games.
Then it must have been. Oh, you're right. My bad. You're right, because they opened at Levi's that year, so it wasn't the first game. Oh no, they didn't. They opened the next year. Anyway, yeah, it was. They opened the next year at Levi's. Anyway, sorry. It's the year he came back from his torn Achilles that they played at Levi's. Anyway, they're just not going to. That's the thing that kind of pissed me off the most, Jason. It's because remember I was pretty. I don't want to say arrogant, but I was like 99% confident. I was like, bro, we're not going to get an injury on Sunday just because that's the way these things work. You know, like that's the way the things work. Is you lose a player every week, and then you go to the stadium that has the most injuries in the NFL, and you don't lose a single player. That's just how these things work, right? So that's why I wasn't even tripping. And then I remember, obviously, when I listen to the radio is ahead of the TV, which I like because I can actually hear what happens and then look for particular things. Like if I know, so and so made a touchdown, then I like, for example, I was able to watch Jawan Jennings full route on the replay because I knew he caught the touchdown. So I was like, let me watch. There's no point in watching anything else. Let me watch Jawan and see him break that DB's ankles and shit. So literally, the second that they said Mikael Williams is going down and pounding the side of his helmet with his hands, I said, I knew it. I said he's done. And the thing that hurts me is not the way it's the stunting of his development. Like if this year probably ain't going to be a championship year, Jason, right? Like we could all kind of accept that.
We're still 6-3.
It's so funny, bro, because I still sit there and I still say it's so funny because part of me, and we'll get to trade that deadline right now. Part of me sits here and says, okay, the Niners have shown in 19 and 23, and even in 2022, when we believe that we have a legit shot, we'll go for it. Right? Like we'll make the CMC trade. We'll make the Emmanuel Sanders trade. We'll make the Chase Young trade, right? Like the Niners have shown that. So this year, clearly we weren't we weren't going to make the Chase Young move. I thought we would make moves just simply for depth, like a Jordan Willis type of trade, just to simply get bodies, you know? So like part of me wants to sit there and set my expectations and say, hey, look, I still think we're a good team. Fuck, dude, we go 4-4 the rest of the year. That's still 10 wins, Jason.
Mm-hmm.
And like, and that's the thing that I'm torn. So, talk me through this, bro. Talk me through because I'm torn. Part of me is really torn between the hey, we need to accept our expectations, like no Fred, no fucking no Bosa. Now you're getting to the backups of the backups of the backup. You know what I'm saying?
So here's the reason why we did not make moves today. We don't have draft capital. We do not have enough draft capital, one, to make big trades, two, even to make – so next year we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 7. Now, we can still get up to 3 compensatory picks, but those are not 100%. And that 7th one is a conditional. So we don't necessarily know we're going to be there. We don't have the capital. Now, so you want to go to 2027? Okay, let me pull that up. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 2 7s from the Chiefs, which is also conditional. We do not have we do for Sky Moore. Yeah. So we do not have the draft capital to go out there. Now, could we have maybe done something with because as far as I could be wrong, but you can't trade compensatory picks because they're not announced until the end of the year. Like you're getting
pretty sure you
don't know
can.
when. So you can't trade them. So again, that's draft capital that we do not have. So that means if you take those 3 picks out, right now we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We have no 4th, we have no 5th, and no 6th round draft picks. That's it. We have 6 draft picks right now, technically. If you are still rebuilding this team, or if you are trying to get younger, you're not going to give away draft capital you do not have. No, I don't think it's so much of we're giving up. It's just that long term, which is what we think, what's best for the Niners long term. Yeah. You're not giving up all those picks on a year, like you said earlier. No Fred, no Nick. No, you know what I mean? Yeah. All those kind of guys. I don't necessarily see it as you're giving up. You're just letting the cards play the way they are. Now, obviously, it sucks with somebody like Michael. That was probably like we might have done something if Michael was still around. But even then, I was just like, that's just kind of like that was just like the nail in the coffin for not going after somebody, especially a big fish, someone like Quilling Williams, Trey Hendrickson, any of those kind of guys that we were looking forward to. Bradley Chubb, who could still technically be released by the Dolphins.
Yeah,
we could pick him up.
that's
But again, we don't have the capital to go out and make those trades, even for a smaller. Like, what would you give up for Arden Key? So looking at this year's, what we have for next year's, and I like Arden Key. I'm a big Arden Key fan.
I wanted them to re-sign him.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, so here's our draft picks right now. Would you give up a 1?
No.
2?
No.
3?
No.
4?
No.
Would you give up a 7th?
Yeah.
Okay.
But like realistically, we're not even guaranteed to get that 7th.
That leaves you with 4 draft
I get you. I get your point. Jason. I get your point. I see. Okay, and also to get to your point, Jason, I think put a gun to Kyle and John's head. They're surprised as fuck. We're 6-3 right now.
Yeah, there's no. I mean, with what we're, I think again, who was? I think I said it was Culp and Bryant and McNiner. That if we're like losing 2.5 players a game, we'd have like 1 player left from the original 53-man roster. As far as I know, we haven't. We kind of nixed that average this game, even though it was a big one that we lost in Michael. But still, it's just even at this rate, it is pathetic how many. Like, I'm getting sympathy from Seahawk fans, who, by the way, they made a fucking great trade today. Fuck, that team looks good right now.
I'm gonna have you recap the day before we get out of here, just around the league. Recap trade deadline day. Just because I've been at storage, organizing my storage and trying to figure out. I'm gonna move into a smaller one. And by the way, we're gonna have a shit ton of Niner stuff to give away and sell, and so I'll post pictures, and pretty much there's very little Niner stuff that if you give me the right price is not for sale of mine right now. Very little. Like my Frank Gore poster, my autographed football with Nick Bosa's autograph on it, my Jerry Rice jersey, my Jerry Rice autograph. Those are probably about the only things I'm not willing to sell. My TO jersey, my Cap jersey, but like pretty much almost anything that I got that's Niners, if somebody offered me the right price, it's yours. So we'll get that going on here in a little bit. But I agree with you, Jason. And this is like I was really thinking about this today because I was like, okay, like obviously thinking about the show and trying to think especially once I found out that we did not make a trade, I said, okay, the Yams and the Colts. And honestly, personally, I think Cleveland, just because that's a short week going across country, week before the bye week, things of that nature, are about the only 3 games that I would say I could legitimately see the Niners losing. After that,
Colts, but then they just lost. They just got beat.
But bro, I can't even remember the last time. I can't even remember now. I could be wrong about this, but I legitimately do not remember the last time we won in Indianapolis. And one of my exes is actually a Colts fan.
The Colts low key kick our ass, man. They really they low key they kick our ass all the time.
Yeah, it is because I remember it's just one of the things that I always remember, just because I said like one of my exes, and we also had a daughter that was a stillborn together. So like we keep like I guarantee you, some point the week that we play them, she'll message me talking shit. She never talks to me any other time, but I guarantee you, like either during the week or if they win, I will get a message, talking shit, saying something. Right?
Like that. She only talks to me when she only texts me random shit when we she'll text me, fuck the Niners because she's a Seahawks fan. I'm like, okay. Well,
yeah.
Okay.
See what I'm saying? Yeah. Like I guarantee you, if I told her I had a heart attack right now, I wouldn't even get up. I'm praying for you, bro. You feel me? But let the Niners lose to the Colts, fucking the 22nd, and this bitch all of a sudden fucking I'm her favorite person in the world to text. You feel me? But look, Jason, I'm sure you've gone through this whole life. I've gone through this my whole life. This is just what you have to deal with when you're known as the Niner fan. You know what I'm saying? This is just the shit that you gotta deal with.
I have had no less than about 75 of those AI 49er injury videos that everybody's been posting. I literally have about 75 of them from people that have texted me with all our injuries. It's just like, okay, people, I get it. I don't need 5 every single day from people.
I know, brother. I know. So I don't know, especially like this week, bro. Look, we win this week. If we win the next 2 games, we're winning the division. I honestly believe that. Okay, Kenny, I want to get to Kenny's point right here. 10 wins might not make the playoffs. True,
Possible.
but at the end of the day, it's just it's gonna suck. Look, low key, I can't afford playoff tickets, so the Niners not having a playoff game, at least a home playoff game, would actually be the best thing for your boys' finances. Because my dumbass already opted in, because you have to opt in before the season on whether you'll get playoff tickets or not. So obviously I opted in, and so I'm kind of stuck on the hook. So some years the Shecox make it at 8-7, and some years you don't make the playoffs at 10-7. That's
You're
just
gonna make the playoffs at 7-9 by winning your division.
yeah. By winning your fucking division, hosting a playoff game from a team that had like I think the Cry Girls had like 12 wins that year or something like that. Like it was the craziest shit ever, bro. So I honestly, this might low key be one of the biggest playoff. This might be the biggest regular season game of the season.
It's got serious implications for how far this team might go.
Because I think that you start to get home playoff games, Jason. Fuck, you never know what. Look, I know what you're gonna say. But until otherwise noted, I'm not giving up on fucking Bam Bam putting on the Batman cape and coming back and fucking carrying us to a championship. I'm not giving up on that. Okay, look, listen. I'm about to be homeless, bro. Okay, like I'm about to lose my house. I might lose my job. I might lose everything. Don't take this away from me, y'all. Don't take my hope of Bam Bam coming back, bro. Please don't take my hope, y'all. Okay, that's the only thing keeping your boy from jumping off the Golden Gate right now. Okay, like seriously, is the fact that Bam Bam might come back and it's just gonna be the most epic, legendary shit. Like I might get Fred Warner tattooed on my body if he comes back and fucking carries us to a championship. Like seriously, bro. I might get fucking Fred 54 tattooed on my body. Cause so like I remember Jason, you told me the story of the Niners Aints playoff game, and that's when you had found out your fiance cheated on you with your best friend, and like you win and you just start crying and everything like that. And that's how I'm gonna be. Like if we win the Super Bowl this year and everything like that, and Fred comes back, and if I'm gonna literally be on like crying because it's been a lifelong dream of mine and everything. Like I was talking to Miss Veronica the other day, and she was just telling me, like, she was like, you might as well just sell your soul to the devil. Like, get it over with, because you would sell your soul for us to win the championship. You might as well do it. Just do it, get it over with. Let us win this championship, so you could be happy. All the faithful could be happy, and you'll be our hero because you're the one that sacrificed his soul for us to win the championship. She was like, you might as well just go ahead and do it because you will literally do anything for us to win a championship. And I said, it's easy to talk shit when you've seen us win all 5. Like you were 10 years old. You were 9 years old when we won our first championship. I was -5. Or sorry, -4. Do you feel me? A little bit of a difference here. You were 21 years old. Or sorry, almost 23 years. You were 22 years old when we won our last championship. I was 8. Okay, like, yes, I'm willing to do a lot for us to win a championship for the first time since I can remember. But So I'm with you, Jason. At the end of the year, like it's so funny because I'm a very, championship or bust kind of, the last couple of years have really been championship or bust, mentality
Second
going
place is the
into.
first loser.
Yep, second place is the first loser. But I will say this, regardless of what happens this season, like this team makes the playoffs for the first time. I'm gonna say I'm proud of my team. Like when the season didn't end the way I wanted. Like you know what I'm saying? Like the Niners go 11-6 right now, and they make the playoffs, and we win the wild card game, and let's say we lose the divisional round to Tampa Bay. Um, I'm still proud of this football team, Jason.
Yeah.
All right, give us the recap of the league trade deadlines, bro.
All right. I think the winner is going to be the Jets. The Jets came out with like 19 fucking first round draft picks next year.
They just sold. They just sold the farm.
Basically, they said Brees Hall, or Brees Hall. No, remember, Brees Hall wants to be traded. The Cowboys acquired Quinnen Williams for a first round draft pick. Or let's see, for a 2027 first round and a 2026 second round, and defensive lineman from the Cowboys. So again, that's just
Yeah,
the Jets. The Jets did good.
yeah. That.
See, the other big one was obviously the Colts acquiring Sauce Gardner from the Jets. Colts have a good secondary. The problem is, Tommy, Sauce Gardner ain't had an interception since 2023. Take that with how as you will, but he ain't been, for a great coverage guy, he's not getting many picks or anything like that.
I'd be curious to see how much he's targeted.
Yeah, and that does have a good portion of it, but still, if you're going to give up that much draft, they give up two first round draft picks for someone who doesn't have a pick in a year. So yeah.
So it clearly was a seller's market. This trade deadline.
The Jaguars got Raiders wide receiver Jacoby Myers.
I like him.
Steelers added Marquez Valdez-Scantling. I don't know why I still cannot say that. The Dallas also added linebacker Logan Williams. And then the one that got me, I was like, fuck, that actually makes them really good. Let's see. Where'd it go? They got Trevor Penning from the Saints, Kenny. That's who they got. Where did it go? I just read it. The Seahawks got wide receiver Rashid Shaheed from the Saints. Rashid Shaheed is not great, but what he is going to do is the dude is quick. He is quick as shit, and he is going to go deep, and he is going to open up even more routes for Jackson Njigba. I mean, that's exactly what he's going to do. And that offense got ugly, or got even uglier for us. And it sucks for us, but I'm not worried about them in the playoffs because Sam Darnold. I'll be honest with you. Like, now do we lose them in that last week? Sure. We lose. They put up 40 points on us. And right now we are scheduled to play the Seahawks. If everything ended today, we play the Seahawks in the first round of the playoff. But Sam Darnold. So, I mean, it's just like, okay, yeah, you're going to put up 40 points, but you're going to throw that one interception.
See, I'm dying on the grave that shit. You win the next 2 weeks, like because we have the Yams, we have the Cardinals back-to-back weeks. You win this next 2 weeks. That Week 18 game doesn't even mean shit, Jason. I'm going to go that far. I mean, we'll see. Maybe you drop a game to the Bears, or the Cleveland game. What do they do? That is a lot of speed. When we do during our bye week, that will also determine that and everything like that too. But I don't know. I'm really excited about these next 2 weeks because I would dare say I'm fairly confident that these next 2 weeks go a far way in determining the 2025 season. We lose these next two, it might be rough. But anyway, yeah, I don't like the Cry Girls getting better because realistically, I most likely I think
What is their
they're
record? I'm not even
gonna,
fucking. They lost to the fucking Cardinals last night.
yeah, that shit was crazy. When I came home last
Cowboys
night,
are
and,
3-5-1 and making plays like they are
wow,
6-7-1. I mean,
wow, I did not realize their record was that bad.
they are
Wow, I did not
3-5-1.
realize.
Are they even in the play? Hold on. Are they even in the playoff picture right now?
No, they can't
I
be.
don't. No. I want to see where they are.
What, like 12?
Let's see. They're 11th. so yeah, they are
Yeah,
11th.
they're. See, I thought they would at least be a factor into the wild card because they're not winning the division. The Eagles are winning that division. The
Yeah, the
Eagles are
Eagles
winning.
are Eagles would have to have a complete collapse, and
Yeah,
the Cowboys
yeah,
have to do
and
something that they never do. And
at that point, you might be talking about what's his face? Why did I forget his name right now? Their coach, Sirianni, Nick Sirianni. You might be talking about his job. If they have if you go 8-6-2 and then have the type of collapse where you can't win the division, you
he's got
know
that Super Bowl for another couple of years.
that's the thing that pisses me off too, bruh. How does he have a ring and Kyle doesn't? That's the thing that pisses me off, bruh.
Sometimes it's
That's
better to
the
be
thing
lucky.
that
That's
sometimes
it.
it's better to be lucky than good, I guess. You know what it is? It's playing fucking the Chiefs. Each time that they played the Chiefs has been after they played us in the Super Bowl.
Yep.
And I think that's what it is. I think that secretly, I think it's the back to back curse. Because like last night, I will say this. Last night the Dodgers became the first team in 25 years to go back to back in the World Series. I did not know that. I did not know it had been that
I
long.
don't baseball. so
Yeah, but no.
they
But
could have
like,
won the
just think
last
about
10. I
that.
wouldn't even
25
know.
years, just in sports, 25 years without a championship. And because let's be real, basically one team has dominated most of the sports' history as far as championships are concerned.
Yeah.
With the Yankees with their 27. The Giants sneakily have 8. You feel me? I think the Giants are second or third all time. Sneakily, we have 8 because we won 5 before we came to Frisco. But anyway, but yeah, so I remember it almost seemed like all the time, like teams would go back to back all the time growing up, just whether it be football,
Mm-hmm.
baseball. It doesn't seem to happen. There's so much more parity nowadays. Like it's the thing it's just
Everything.
it's the reason legitly it's the reason why it's so funny because I've never really liked to talk too much shit about the Niners fans or Dodgers fans because I understand, hey, this is what happens when one, you don't have a team in LA for 2 decades, and two, you have a team that's dominant in the same state, i.e., the Niners. You feel me?
Not only that, the team leaves how many times too?
That's what I'm saying. Your team left, and there was a team in the same state that was dominant during that period of time. So it makes sense why people would be not older, especially it's not like these people are 9, and all of a sudden they're Niners and Giants fans. These are older people, bro, that clearly were around in the 80s and the 90s. So
How many
because
of them just said fuck it, even though the Rams and then back in LA, like, look, fuck it, I'm not cheering for an LA NFL team anymore.
well, that and I mean, look, let's not pretend like some gang ties don't have a thing to do with that. You feel me? I know some people that are only Niner fans because they're red. You feel me? So it's so because I'm actually a Lakers fan. Like the only non-Bay team I don't like is the Warriors. Every other sport, every other team of mine is a Bay team, right? And so I've always kind of but that's kind of what happens when you have only two teams have pretty much won most of the NBA championships: Celtics and Lakers.
Yeah.
It's the same thing before. Anyway, but I'm with you, Jason. I think we're going to be okay. I'm excited for the rest of the year. Like, okay, now we know. Hopefully not. Well, we don't know because let's be real, we don't know who we're gonna lose next week. Like it's just we're gonna lose somebody. Like it is what it is. This is what's
It has
gonna
been
happen.
written it has been
It has been
prophesized.
written. It's been prophesized. You feel me? So we don't know who we're gonna lose, but I'm excited
You muted yourself.
because he used
Okay.
the rest of the year. Getting a phone call. Damn bill collectors. Um, so I'm excited because regardless of losing players, it's not our top names. We've only literally had 2 receiver touchdowns all year, and they've both been by Jawan. Um, does Brock Purdy even come back? Because Kyle said even if and when he comes back, he's going to deal with this turf toe. So essentially, he's one false step away from re-aggravating this shit again.
Yeah.
And the thing that sucks about how late we are in the season is this is going to get to the point where like Markel Williams, where we're late enough into the year that any significant injury this time of year might start to affect next season too.
I think Michael will be ready by
I think what I think it is I think they're going to bring him about. They're gonna start him off slowly because 9 months would be August. It'd be August 2nd. Would be exactly 9 months. So let's be real. He misses the first 1 or 2 weeks of camp, which to me
maybe
that's
even the first couple weeks of the game of the season.
Beyond, and see, that's what hurts me the most, Jason, is that if this year's not going to end in the quest for 6, what you would hope is Markel Williams, C.J. West, Alfred Collins, Marquise Siegel.
Why is West not playing?
Beats the fuck out of me, bro. Beats the fuck out of me. That's what I'm curious about. Like he played, and then all of a sudden just inactive. I don't know who he did. He pull up? I forget who it was, but who was it that said, did he pull a Jared Goff and say that he would bang Kyle's wife? You remember Jared Goff said that he would bang McVay's fucking McVay's girlfriend? Did like CJ West say he banged Mrs. Shanahan? And Kyle was like, or Salah's wife. You feel me? Because look, we all know
starter to inactive really quick.
I think that was play status. I think that was.
You have Jair Brown, who I'll say did have a decent game.
Okay.
But for most of this year, Jair Brown's been trash, especially with tackling.
Honestly, okay, I will say this. Before I forget, Jair Brown is my defensive MVP of the week. This week, yours, Jason?
I'm going to go Cleveland Farrell.
I thought it was good to have Cleveland Farrell back. Like it was good to see him back.
It felt right.
It did. It felt right. It was like, okay, I'm excited about this move. Like it's not a sexy headline. He's not going to come in and lead the league in sacks or anything like that. But it's good veteran presence that knows the system, knows the locker room, and he even talked about it. He said it just feels good to be home. Like he's like this place felt like home. Yeah, it was. I was excited to have Cleveland Farrell back. But I'm surprised Jair Brown made the roster this year.
Right.
So I agree with you, Jason. I agree. I thought Jair Brown wasn't going to, from going to the starter last year, and like one of our hey, we have hope for this. This is one of our. You and I both had high expectations for Jair Brown last year. Yep. So like this year, I was surprised he even made the roster. To be quite honest, big turnaround. Shout out to Jair Brown because I thought he played phenomenal. He was making plays, and that's what we need to see, bro. If we're truly, because to me, besides Malik, nobody has secured a starting safety. There's just nobody that I have inked in to be our starter at safety the rest of the year besides Malik. So big shout out to Jair, and then to me, Kittle Court offensive MVP of the week. I'm gonna give it to Mac Daddy. I'm gonna give it to Mac Jones, bro. Going 14-14, which is too shy off a Niner record. Joe went 16-16 to open up a game one time. I just know that off the top of my head. Joe went 16-16 one year. Jason, offensive MVP of the week.
This is going to be the second time I have eaten crow, but Spencer Burford.
Yeah. Yeah, I thought he was reached out the fence too.
I mean, he wasn't great, but I mean, he looked better, and the lines seem to be moving a lot better as a cohesive unit.
It did.
And I basically, I think the words I used were, I've given up on him. And again, just like with Jair Brown, I kind of had to eat crow this week on that for both of them.
Cool. Guess what? Do it in overtime in the Super Bowl, then come holler at me. You feel me? That's how I'm feeling, Jason.
That's a bit much.
I'm just saying. Brother. Look. I can forgive physical errors. Physical errors happen. Chris Jones is one of the best defensive players in the league. He's going to make plays. You feel me? I just can't forgive mental errors, bro. I just can't forgive because that's preparation. Physical errors happen. Another person beats you. Another grown ass man beats you. That's going to happen. But mental errors, that's just lack of preparation, bro, and that's something I can't forgive. And overtime on third down in the fucking Super Bowl. No, I'm sorry, I just can't. I'm not gonna forgive him quite yet. But yeah. Oh, by any chance, I'll let you go after this. Do you know it's the Giants that we've played most in the NFC Championship game? Correct.
I don't know off the top of my head.
Okay.
I want to say I feel like in the 80s it was like every other year, damn near kind of situation.
Well,
so I mean they've got to be at least top 3, if nothing else.
Okay, I'll look it up. I'll look it up on my phone real quick. But I was wondering if you had it because it's either them or the Whackers. Because it's funny because everybody always talks about Niners cry girls, Niners cry girls. But if you hold a gun to the 80s Niners, I bet you that and 80s Niner fans, I bet you they say the team that they hated the most was the Giants. We play the Giants in the playoffs way more than we played the Cry Girls in the playoffs. And the 80s,
hate the Cowboys. Like everybody hates the Cowboys.
Well, let's be real. That's from the 70s. The reason the Niners and Cry Girls hate each other is the 70s and 90s. That's why the Niners and Cry Girls hate each other. Is the 70s and 90s, or at least the early 90s. The early 70s and the early 90s are the reasons Niners and Cry Girls fans hate each other. Like legitimately teams we played in the playoffs, it's Giants and Whackers. Okay, I'll look it up right now. Final thoughts, Jason, and then we'll go ahead and let you get up out of here.
Good win in general. Sucks what happened to Michael. Heal up. We'll see you next season.
Man, it really does.
Give up faith. We're still 6-3. You're telling me there's still a chance that we could do something. Is it a smaller
It's so
chance
crazy, bro.
Without Michael, the chance is smaller. Obviously, there's still a chance.
It just feels like that, Jason. Like it feels like it feels so weird to have given up hope at 6-3. And when you say if we simply just go 500, which you're talking about the Colts, so you got the Yams, the Cardinals, the Colts, the Panthers, the Bears, Seahawks, and I know I'm missing one. Let's see. So all 3 division teams, the Bears,
Panthers, Colts,
Panthers.
Who are we missing? We played Tampa Bay.
Yeah.
We played Atlanta. We just played
Tennessee.
Okay.
I'm sorry, bro, but I kind of have a hard time saying the Niners are going to lose 4 of those games, bro.
Well, you got to think about this. Panthers are starting to get better.
That's
I'm just saying the Bears look better, admittedly. You know what I mean? Those 2 teams who we probably would have just automatically chopped up wins, they're starting to move the needle. I'm not saying that they're great, but you can see some sort of movement in them getting better with everything.
Yeah, but you know what? By the time we play the Bears the second to last week, they probably already have their bags packed to Cancun, bro.
You never know. But again, they're getting better. Just gonna say.
Yeah. I will say this. Look, any given Sunday, all that stuff and everything like that, like we will find out. But
I also didn't know that the Cardinals have 5 losses by 13, total of 13 points. And they're finally moving away from Kyler Murray as their starting quarterback. They've named Jacoby Brissett as their starter for Week 10.
wow.
Jacoby Brissett moves that offense better. I don't know. They haven't said if it's like a season thing, but supposedly Kyler's injured. But, you know, I just think Jacoby's playing better.
That's okay. Or whatever like that to save some trade value or anything like that. But that's an absolutely huge move when you're moving on from Kyler. You're essentially benching Kyler Murray. I don't know how he comes back from that.
Another trade that I didn't see until now, the Falcons traded Kyle Pitts to the Buccaneers for 2 seconds.
That's weird. In division, too.
Yeah.
Played either in the NFC Championship. Okay, I'm going to look it up right now. Whatever. I got to look it up on my phone. All right. Well, we'll get you out of here. We'll recap everything on Friday, Jason. I'm actually looking forward to doing Friday's show because this is gonna be a big show, bro. Like, because this is gonna be. I hope it's not the biggest game of the year, but it's the biggest game of the year so far.
Yeah.
All right, Captain. We shall see you on Friday.
One love.
Yeah. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and let y'all go for 2 seconds. I'm gonna go ahead and run the ads. I'm gonna look up the answer to the trivia question, and then I'll be back and I'll let y'all know that. Are you coming back in? What? Just asking. Yeah. Yeah, a little bit. Okay. Everything okay? No. But anyway, all right. Oh, yeah. Okay, so let me run the ads and I'll get y'all.
Backed by the GOAT himself, Goat Fuel is a great tasting energy drink without the crash. Use our affiliate link below to save 10% on all Goat Fuel energy drinks. Help out the show and save 10% at the official Niner online store by using our affiliate link in the description below. Go to SeatGiant.ca to save on all your theater, concert, and sporting event tickets, as well as help out the show. The website again, SeatGiant.ca, promo code NinerFaithfulRadio. Follow us on social media at Niner Faithful Radio on Facebook, Instagram, Tumblr, and TikTok, and at Niner Faithful R on X.
All right, y'all. I was wrong. It is Niners Cry Girls. Niners and Cry Girls have played each other in the NFC Championship more than 2 other teams in NFL history. I could have swore it was us and the Giants. I know us and the Whackers have played each other in the playoffs more than any other teams. But I guess the NFC Championship game is specifically the Cry Girls. All right, y'all. We shall see y'all Friday. Till then, faith, love, and go Niners.